we have absolutely dire rental and housing crisis, and for a bill that we bring in to try and address these extortionate rents, we get sent in the Minister for Heritage and Electoral Reform and the Minister for Local Government and Planning. The Minister for Housing doesn't even bother to come in. I just find that really sickening, to be honest with you. Right? I find it sickening. Yet again, I don't get an answer, but I'm not really surprised about it, about why the government broke their promise to tell us what was happening with the review of the social housing income eligibility thresholds, which we were promised would be announced before the summer recess. Promise broken, right? Now, a lot of people are suffering as a result of that, because we have rents which have reached, in Dublin, €2,000 and €2,200 a month, rents across the country, up 10% this year in Dublin, up 10% in Cork, up 13% in Galway, up 15% in Limerick, up 16% in Waterford, up 24% in Leitrim, record numbers of families and homeless people in the street, and the government is going to go off on its summer holidays with people suffering misery. And all the statistics you reeled off. I'll tell you a statistic. You mentioned Dunleary Rathdown. Dunleary Rathdown, there are 4,000 households currently in need of permanent secure homes. Okay? Between now and the next 5 years, the time of your plan, another 2,825 will join the list. But the Housing for All plan that you say is going to work is going to deliver 2,318 homes. Okay? So there will be more people on the housing list in Dunleary at the end of your plan than there is now. And the situation now is that you're waiting for 20 years on the housing list. And because you can't get a house from the council, and the HAP rates aren't high enough, in many cases because you can't even get on the housing list or eligible for housing support, for Amy, that means with a family of 3, she was homeless once 5 years ago, now she's overholding, is going to be evicted in the next few weeks, and is going back into homeless accommodation, but she won't go back. She won't go back. For Shauna, overholding on a lease, 3 kids, serious mental health issues, nowhere to go, faced with homeless accommodation. Joanna, 3 children, facing eviction at the end of July, nothing within the HAP limits in the area. Maria actually works for a housing charity, and she's facing eviction in October. Can't find anywhere to rent. Karen facing eviction on September the 3rd. Child with severe ASD diagnosis, facing eviction. Emily, 1 child, also now put into emergency accommodation in Dublin city centre. Dee, I won't even mention their full name, working, previously homeless, now being evicted from a HAP tenancy, can't find anywhere else, back into emergency accommodation. Another mother with 2 children removed from the housing list because her mother works part-time and she's gone over the limit by €400, entitled to absolutely nothing. Jason works for the council, living in his car. Helen, sleeping rough in Glassstool. I could just go on and on and on. So nothing for them, and the Senior Minister can't even bother to come in to address it. And what?
Out of time.
We're not. I've 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Well, you have, but we're supposed
I've 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Right.
And the government says, oh, it's not possible to do anything about all this. But yet they've done it in Berlin. They brought in rent cap legislation in 2020 to do precisely what we're looking to do. To not allow rents go above levels that are affordable. Across Germany, they brought it in 2020. In Paris, they brought it in 2018. If there's a tense situation we can introduce extraordinary rent controls, but you won't do it. We've declared an emergency, but you still won't do it. No matter how much human misery is, you just won't do it. It's not possible. And then, as Deputy Murphy said, we hear the real reason. The landlords wouldn't like it. They'd flood out of the market. If the landlords can't deliver rents that are affordable, they shouldn't be landlords. And if they exit the market, as Deputy Murphy said, they can't take the houses and apartments with them. The local authorities just step in and buy them. One of the reasons we have the lowest levels of highest levels of rents is because we have the lowest levels of social housing. 9% social housing in Ireland, as against over 20% in Austria. 25% actually. 19% in Denmark. We'd get a lot of extra social housing if they all exit, and the state just went in and bought the houses and charged affordable rents. So there is no problem. In fact, it would actually bring down the excessive rents and house prices in the market. You don't want to do it because you're only representing the landlords and the vulture funds.
So